Guys, ANTOSS back again with another review. Today I'm talking about the CE3 Comet. There she is. It's probably better known as the Phoenix, but this particular one's called the Comet. It is a bottom coil clearomizer running at 2.5 ohms. From my experience, this tank will actually probably hold about 1 mil. As a safeguard, you could probably push a bit more in there, but I just put 1 mil in there. So we'll give it a quick vape. This is running on a Provari at 3.7 volts. So if you don't have a VV device or you have an Ego, you know, this is how it's going to vape. Good vapor. It's good vapor, really good flavor, good vapor production. Now, unfortunately, running at 3.7 volts, it just doesn't have any heat in the vapor, which also means you'll get a lack of throat hit. If you see my previous video when I talk about the Kangen T3, which is also a bottom coil clearomizer, much larger but virtually the same sort of setup, you would know that I sort of mentioned that it has a lack of heat in it and a lack of throat hit, which this also follows suit. So at 3.7 volts, you're getting good vapor, good flavor, but it's definitely a smoother throat hit. So I'll just take it off real quick. So when you get this out of the packet, it won't have this drip tip in there. It just has sort of like a standard seal flat drip tip in there, which you could use if you don't want to use your own drip tip. And so what we have is basically the coils at the bottom here. This is the tank, which I said holds about 1 mil. Now the way, and it has a 510 thread. So now the way you fill these up is not so user friendly. You must turn it upside down. You must have a syringe, and there's a little hole in there, really small hole. I'll try and get in there real quick. See, it's in there now, and then you will pump it full of your favorite e-juice. To me, this is not a user-friendly setup. It's not something that everyone wants to do in public, you know, bring out a syringe and turn it upside down. It's not even something you could do under the table, you know, sort of discreetly, because it has to be upside down, so you kind of got to know what you're looking at. So that to me is a bit of a critical downside to the design of it. So I'll just put the drip tip back on. So what we'll do now is we'll just up it a bit. We'll turn up the volts to say 4.2, okay? And once again, this is 2.5 ohms. Oh yeah, that's much better actually. Yeah. I mean, 4.2. This thing's it's much better for the throat hit and flavor and vapor. Yeah, actually, that's impressive for a bottom coil. You know, at 4.2, it's definitely running much better. Much better, actually better than the Kangen T3 did at the same voltage. And you know, this is sort of like big and large. You'd expect it to perform better than this, it being a smaller version of it. But I think this one actually has the edge on it. Yeah, it's pretty good. You're actually getting a slight warmth in it, probably because the air hole in the shaft in the middle there is much more narrow than it is with the Kangen. Okay, so there's probably less time for the vapor, even though it's coming from the bottom, less time for the vapor to sort of cool down. It's actually, in my opinion, it's better than the Kangen T3, which is also bottom coil. It's actually much better, I think. Now, unfortunately, it is better. Is it better than the Stardust? No. not in design or throat hit or flavor. Is it better than the Kanga T3? Absolutely, I think it is. You'll get the throat hits much better than it is with the Kanga, which is virtually the same setup. So you know, it's got a couple of crucial flaws in it, and that is, for me, just to sum it up, the way you have to fill this. I mean, in your own time, in your own place, okay, that's fine, but to do it out in public, you know, it's a bit iffy. You know, you're just going to whip out a syringe and start, you know, sort of putting this upside down in that. But all in all, you know, I do think it's better than the Kanga, so that's sort of the main thing, I guess. And you can put your own drip tip on there, which is sort of a plus as well. You know, it's lacking throat hit. The way you have to refill it, they're big downsides for me. But the upsides is massive vapor, good flavor, yeah, just lacking in the throat hit a bit. So I guess that's enough for this one, guys. Check it out. You know, you might love it. I could dig it. You know, it's all right. I should mention, I do like the way it looks too. I do. When I compare it to the Kanga, which is just so much bigger than it, you know, if you watch my previous video when I talk about this, I don't like the nipple shape drip tip. I don't like it. I like the fact that you can put your own one in this, but it's so broad and so large, and you'd expect it to sort of produce great vapor, but it really sort of falls flat. This is much smaller. I like the look, the sort of the silver tones, the smaller tank, and then it's got a bit of silver at the top there. You know, I kind of like it. I kind of like the looks. It does. It looks pretty good. So all right, I'll give it one more vape and we'll get out of here. It's good. All right, guys, check it out. See you later.